So you've just bought yourself a shiny new axe and you're ready to start shredding. But first things first, we need to get this in tune. So in today's video, I'm going to cover the standard tuning for a guitar and some different methods we can use to get your guitar in tune. So let's get started. First thing we're going to look at is what the standard tuning is for a guitar. What notes we need to get these strings to sound like. So starting from the thickest string at the top, working down to the thinnest string at the bottom, that is E, A, D, G, B, E. Now this is the tuning that's used in most genres of Western music, and it's the tuning that you'll use 99% of the time. So it's important that we get familiar with it. Now when I first started learning guitar, when I were a lad, my dad taught me a handy little rhyme or saying to help me remember what each of these notes are. And that was, elephants and dogs go blind early. E, A, D, G, B, E. Elephants and dogs go blind early. Now, I don't think that's true. At least I hope it isn't true. That'd be a terrible thing. But it worked for me to remember what notes the strings should be tuned to. If it works for you, feel free to steal it. If not, just do whatever works as long as you remember what the standard tuning is. So now we know what the standard tuning is. How do we get our strings to sound like the right notes? Let's take a look at some different methods you can use to get your guitar in tune, starting from the easiest through to the hardest. So number one, and probably the most popular method for tuning a guitar, is to just simply use a digital tuner. Now there are many different types of digital tuners available, from the more expensive foot pedal style tuners that typically go on electric guitar pedal boards, right to the very affordable little clip-on tuners that I think I probably paid $8.99 for on Amazon. Really good shout if you're just starting out, as they are affordable and super easy to use. So here's how to use one. Step one, turn the tuner on and clip it on the headstock of your guitar. Step two, play each string one at a time and check the display on the tuner to see whether your guitar is in tune or not. Step three, if the note is sharp, too high, then loosen the string until the tuner display registers that it's in tune. Or if the note is flat, which is too low, then tighten the string until the tuner displays that it's in tune. Step four, repeat this process for all 6 strings until Bob's your uncle, your guitar's in tune. So method number two, if you really don't want to splash the cash on an Amazon cheapie, or just don't want to wait for delivery, then there are now hundreds of free app-based tuners available. I have this Fender one, Fender Tune, which essentially just does the same thing. Let's play. There we go, it's picked about in tune. They all do pretty much the same thing and can be used in exactly the same way as a digital tuner, just mostly don't cost anything. Now method number three is to use a piano or keyboard or something else that you know is in tune. So you can tune your guitar using a piano if you're lucky enough to have one lying around, or something else that you know is in tune, and basically use it as a reference to try and copy. Now this is a little trickier as it relies on having a good ear rather than a visual sign telling you that it's in tune. But it's a really good way to train your ear and useful to know how to tune to other instruments. So here's how to do it. Step one is to find a piano or keyboard or other instrument that you know is in tune. Step two, play the E note on the piano and tune the thickest string to match it. Step three, play the A note on the piano, play the A string, twist the machine heads until it sounds about the same. And so on and so forth until Fanny's your aunt, your guitar's in tune. Now lastly, if you don't have a digital tuner, a smartphone, a piano, or any other point of reference, you can still get your guitar in tune, or at least sounding in tune, by using the 5th fret method. Now this is definitely a little more pro and will certainly challenge your ears, but once mastered, is a useful fail-safe to have in your toolkit. Here's how to do it. We need to get the low E string in pitch, or at least sounding as close to being an E as we can get it. You may be able to listen to a song that you know is in E and try and get this E string sounding about right alongside it. But if that's not possible, we're going to have to just wing it and go with something that sounds about right. Now this does get easier as we become more familiar with what each note should sound like. That'll do. So step 2 is to place our finger on the 5th fret of the low E string and play the note. This is an A. Step 3 is to play the open A string below it and adjust the machine head until it sounds about the same. That'll do. Step 4 is to repeat the process. You guessed it, for the remaining strings. Place your finger on the 5th fret of the A string and play the note. This is a D, which is the same as the open D below it. Again, tune the string up or down to get it sounding the same. Now the 5th fret works for all the strings except for the G when tuning the B below. For that we have to put our finger on the 4th fret, which is a B, which corresponds to the open B string below it. Same method though, try and get the 2 notes to sound the same. That needs to come down a bit. And then we'll return back to the 5th fret to do the final high E string. So when finished and in tune, it should sound like this. Then what I normally do is just play a regular E chord and see if it sounds about right. A little bit of practice and fine tuning and this does become easier and actually much quicker when tuning on the fly. Say for instance you're at a gig, you're on a stage, you don't have time to grab a tuner and you just want to tweak the odd string. So there you go, super simple one today, very basic. You can go deeper and even more pro than this. I'll be honest, I'm only scratching the surface today and trying to aim more at that beginner acoustic guitar level. Let me know in the comments if you have any other methods of tuning your guitar worth sharing, or if you'd like me to cover any other acoustic guitar basics in future videos. If you'd consider subscribing for more guitar related comment, it really would mean the world to me, and perhaps I might see you in the next video.